And live preparing. Got it. Hey, Laura, how's it going? I'm so excited. Today is what is today? Today is the first day of fall. Okay, and I love fall. Even though I love summer, I love fall too. So, anyways, how are you doing today?
I am doing completely awesome. I'm excited. Fall is my favorite time of year. And I'm just amazing and excited. And it was so nice to have the weather a little cooler yesterday. But it was funny because it was raining a little bit. It reminded me of Halloween. So
Totally. Totally. Well, hey, and I got to tell you, I am so excited, okay? Because this is a Wednesday. We always get together, okay? But it is the first day of fall. But what else is it? It is the fall season for us. We are starting our fall season of
right.
our social media platform here. We have so much that we've got going on. We have so much to share. We are so beyond excited, and we can give you a few tidbits. But before we do that, which we will do towards the end, we have a topic that is just beyond exciting. Okay, this topic is just mind blowing sometimes. Sometimes I will sit there and experience something and go, holy moly, what just happened? Kind of thing. And Lori and I always get together and talk about what we're going to talk about, which we plan ahead. We're planners.
Mhm.
And Lori's a little like investigator. I tell you, she goes on and she finds like all these great articles. And some of the articles we find and she finds, they pop up and we go, oh my goodness. And I'm saying this because this is going to be some of the topic we're talking about. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Okay. So our topic for today is about miracles. And Lori, I'm so excited because I know that you have so many things that you can share personally too. And I know we've got personal friends, we got all these things. And so with that, I want to turn it over to you and say kudos to you for finding some of these great
Thank
articles.
you, Debbie. Thank you very much. I enjoy doing it and I learned so much. And remember, this is not, we're not experts on this, but we're passionate about this. I am so passionate. I know Debbie is. I've had my own experiences, but miracles are super natural events that seems unacceptable by nature and scientific laws. There's various religions, phenomena, also, angels. I mean, you don't have to be necessarily spiritual or in any kind of a religion or anything to have a miracle happen or classify it as a miracle. So I don't want anybody to think we're pushing religion down anybody's throat, but miracles happen with everyone. It happens every single day, and there's just so much things. They supernatural beings attributed to actions of deity and magician and miracle workers and saints and religious leaders and stuff. And so, today we're going to talk about different kinds of miracles and miracles that have happened to me and happened to one of our people, Joan Auberly, that was on our show, who written the book The Dance. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But you know miracles could be as simple as winning the lottery, surviving a plane crash, finding a perfect mate. I mean, there's a lot of things with miracles.
Mhm.
Like I said, it's all about it, the law of attraction and an ability to create your own life's experience are involved with miracles.
Mhm.
In 2010, there was a survey done that said that 80% of Americans believe in miracles. So
Mhm.
this is amazing. So with that, Debbie, you want to talk anything about miracles, different kinds of miracles that could happen?
Yeah, and I think that sometimes like a miracle doesn't have to be something that's so like out there, like crazy, crazy. You know what I mean? Like there's things like I can talk about like thinking I kind of a mini miracle. Like my mother used to always say this thing that everything happens for a reason, okay? And that everything, and so sometimes you're in the midst of something and you're thinking you're doing something and then you get stopped and you're not doing it and something gets changed. And then all of a sudden you realize that it's a really good thing you didn't do what you thought you were going to do, because if you would have, something could have happened or something did happen and you weren't there, or maybe you had to be somewhere else to have something happen. Okay. And that was significant. Maybe you met somebody, maybe you met your soulmate because you happened to be in the right place at the right time, kind of thing. And I look at those as being mini miracles, or or experiences that like are miraculous. Okay, it's kind of cool, and you should be very thankful for, and also I think that we have, as we're going to continue talking today, we have some very significant ones that we're going to mention, and we're not going to mention names because we didn't ask permission. We did, Joan, but but we've seen so many things that it just, for Lori and I can always say, if I say Lori and I, because I know I've talked to Lori about this before. Some of these to us are like, we'll go, oh my goodness, that was a God-given thing. Or another miracle I kind of feel like, and I could use it as a miracle, is like saying that Lori and I will go to look for something.
Yes.
And we were together 2 weeks ago, and we were pulling up information that popped up on the computer, and we were like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what we're looking for. Like, it just all kind of fell together. And I think they're just kind of like little like miracles, I think, in my personal opinion. Everybody has their different way of thinking or whatever, but
right.
So that with that, Laura, I'm turning it back to you.
Well, you know what? It's just amazing about miracles. There's so many different kinds, and from like we talk religious and angels and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to tell you one experience. Here, let me go back a little bit. Have you ever been driving and you just missed a car, or somebody missed you and could have been an accident?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a miracle. Miracles are even babies born every day is a miracle.
Right.
Right. I mean, even flowers blooming, the chances of that flower blooming to be perfect. There's just so many things. We just have to look for it. And one of the things I was reading, and which is very true to Debbie and I, is if you have faith, okay, and you really believe in something, things will happen.
Right.
And happen if it's a godly thing in God's timing, or if you just believe in something. I didn't even tell you, Debbie, this morning, I had a miracle this morning.
Okay.
You know what? You remember how the other day I couldn't get my camera to work because I bent the end of it? Well, this morning I said, God, I want a miracle this morning. Help me get this camera to work. And I'm under it right now.
Yay!
I mean, it was a miracle. It was God trying to tell me, hey, I got a little miracle for you to talk about. But I want to talk to you about something I don't even think Debbie knows about. It's an amazing story that happened to me. And it was quite a while ago. But I was going to get an MRI in LaGrange on my leg. And it was snowing so bad. And I got onto the ramp to get onto I-55 going towards Chicago. And I was on the ramp, and as I was coming around, I did a swirl, and I was facing traffic.
Oh.
As I looked up, there was a semi coming towards me.
Oh my God.
I took my hands, I bowed down, I said, God, please help me. I opened my eyes, the truck went right past me. This is what another amazing thing is. All the traffic stopped on the highway for me to turn.
Oh my God.
What is the chance of that happening?
Wow.
I remember just leaving there going, I don't believe what happened. I thought I was going to be killed.
Wow.
So it was a lot of people experience that stuff with cars driving and everything. I mean, miracles happen every day. I mean, it's amazing. We just don't think of them as miracles. We just say, oh, it happened, but it's a chance happening.
Right.
Stuff. And I just want to talk about a couple of things that I'm kind of passionate about, and that is the Marian miracles. The Marian miracles are, and it's interesting for people that are non-religious too. The Marian ones are the ones where the Blessed Mother, which is the mother of Jesus, okay, she appears to people. Well, in 1917, there was my favorite, was in Fatima, okay, in Portugal, and 3 little kids experienced seeing the Blessed Mother, and were told to go back there for the same date 3 months in a row, and they would get the answer of who she was. Well, of course, nobody believed them. They thought they were crazy, but those little kids stuck to their story. And if anybody wants to watch a really good movie, it's called The Fatima, or read a book on it. It's an amazing story to tell your children. And no matter how many people didn't believe him, they were going to lock him up in jail, they still pursued it. And then something happened on that third month of in October. But that's something for you to look into. Okay, Debbie, with that, let's talk about some more miracles.
Well, I'm going to share a miracle, and I'm going to just say that I'm going to be a little vague, but I'm going to kind of explain that we have a really good friend that Lori knows too that actually went through having a traumatic situation happen to her. And it was a very interesting situation where she was actually able to call for help, and she called one of her family members, and they had brought her somewhere. They brought her to a certain hospital, and they couldn't help her because they said, you better start praying because we don't have the capacity here to be able to help what you got going on. So they called and found somebody that they were able to find out that could get her into one of the top hospitals because they didn't have any airlifting situations available because they were busy and they had to make it all these different things. Well, long story short, they got her in, they were able to get her into, a good doctor, and went ahead and had, some procedures done. And so then things didn't go well afterwards, and she was moved to a different place. But then when she actually did get to the second place, she had another situation happen. And we were praying and praying, and we were like, oh my goodness. And they're saying there is just like, it's going to be a very slim chance she's going to make it. And we were like, this is crazy. So she had surgery performed somewhere else, and they were able to get the doctor who performed that surgery at the other hospital come to the second hospital and be with one of the top nation doctors and perform another surgery. And to this day, it's just crazy. She survived, and she is doing very well. And I look at that and I know that is an incredible miracle, because they were not thinking things were going to go so good. And that's just one story. And I left a lot of details out because, again, I didn't ask if I could even talk about it.
Right.
But I know Lori knows who I'm talking about. And I know that, well, and I know this is our belief, guys. Okay, you may not believe this way, but if you do, and there's a lot of praying going on. Okay, there was a lot of praying going on.
Right.
And I really, really believe in my heart that God wasn't done with her. Okay, she has more purpose here, to whatever it may be that he saw, he did. And it would have been really easy for that not to go that way. It really would have been. And so it's just crazy. So that's one story. I mean, I could have like 5 different stories I could talk about. And ones that Lori and I both know, but we're excited because we're going to talk a little bit in a little bit about some people very dear to us. And I'm going to turn it back to you, Laura, because I could keep going, and I know we've got to stay in our format here.
Well, there's a debate about the healing power of prayer. One month you'll see an article about an experiment that shows prayer is statistically relevant in healing patients, and then the next month you'll hear an experiment that shows it had no effect whatsoever. I don't know if you know anybody, but I know a few people. I mean, that we prayed, or they prayed, family prayed, and all of a sudden they went for a test and the cancer was gone, or whatever they were going through was gone. Like I said, we were talking about everyday miracles now too. Think about everyday miracles again. I'm sorry we're going back and forth, but we're so excited about this. I'm so passionate about it. I know Debbie is too. But miracles every day. There's just so many things. Like, for example, do you ever, and they say this is kind of a coincidence, but it's kind of a miracle, I think, is when you're thinking of a friend that you have not talked to in a long time, and all of a sudden you get a phone call and that person calls. You know what happened today? I had this morning. It was crazy. I was thinking about my daughter, and I was not even near my phone, and my phone started ringing her. So I don't know, just stuff like that. I mean, there's everyday things that happen. It doesn't necessarily mean if you pray to God for something, okay, you need a miracle. If you pray to God, that it's going to happen, because it happens in his timing. But you could pray and if you believe, eventually things are going to work out, because that's how God works and that's how miracles work. But I mean, we pray all the time for people that are sick, and you know, the power of prayer and the power of miracles is amazing, that what happens and stuff. I have
Mhm.
another miracle I'm going to talk about. It actually, I posted the picture on our right underneath our advertisement for today. If some of you might have seen, it's a cross, and that in the corner is a sun, and the sun made a look. If you look at it, it looks like a dove. And that was done on April 25th, 2020. That was right after the pandemic got really bad. And we've talked about this before. I go to the cemetery in Hillside and I go and pray at the cross and I take random pictures. And I couldn't see what's taking a picture of, the sun was so bright. That's the picture I got. And I felt like it was a sign saying
There it
that,
is.
yeah, right. Thank you, Debbie. It's a
Yeah.
sign that things are going to be okay, that we're being watched over. It was like peace, because a dove symbolizes peace. And that was my symbol to express to other people that eventually we're going to be okay with everything. See, stuff like that, you got to look for it, you know? I mean,
Mhm.
it's there. And
Mhm.
you would be surprised now that you're thinking about it. Today, you're going to go out and you're going to see a lot of amazing things. And that, with that, Debbie, you want to get on to that?
Yeah, and I was say is that in this picture, if you're looking close in the way where it is, right up in that very corner, there's a little, I believe, an orb. I think
Yeah.
there's a blue orb there. I really do believe that's an orb. I know this is going to sound kind of random, but this was in our information that we looked at. So we're not making this stuff up, okay? So we don't, we don't, we follow stuff that's been an article on different things, but little mini things that may not seem like it's a miracle, okay? But it can also be something that makes you feel good. And it's kind of like there are the 10 mysterious, like little things like that can be said, okay? Like for instance, have you ever had, and they're everyday miracles, have you ever, and this happened to me, and did you ever go into an old wallet or a coat pocket and you find 20 bucks?
Right.
Oh my God, I got $20. So you know what I did with my little $20 is I took it and I wrapped it up and I put it and I hid it in my wallet. And I thought, okay, in case if ever I need this $20, it's in there. It's so crazy. But and maybe a friend follows through on a promise they made. Okay, I don't want to say, okay, that's such a miracle, but then there's a lot of people that don't follow through on promises and stuff like that. Your person, son, daughter, uh, distant cousin, whatever, calls you to thank you for something that you've done that you did out of the goodness of your heart and you didn't expect them to thank you, or maybe you didn't even realize that you did something really good for that person, kind of blindsided you, and they called you to thank you, and you're like, oh my goodness, you made them feel good. So now let's turn that around. Why don't we all really focus on, if somebody does a nice gesture, that you do something a little special for them? It doesn't have to be something that costs a lot, but maybe make their day. And to them, it's like a little mini miracle.
It is.
And then one more one is that, and it kind of goes hand in hand with Lori, your story that I did not know about, which thank God you were okay. But someone lets me turn ahead of them into the left lane. Okay, how many times have you been in traffic and you're almost like white knuckled, right? And you're like, son of a gun, how the heck am I going to get over? It's like one way or the other. And some nice person waves you in instead of one of the other people that may be trying to give you a gesture that's maybe not so nice. So I mean, these are like maybe silly things you may think about, but then again, you know what? They're really not. So anyways, Lord, what have you got other ones that you want to cover?
Well, I was reading some stuff here, and this is like she was saying about kindness and stuff, like somebody paying your toll ahead of you. Have you ever been so down where you didn't have enough money for the rest of the week, and all of a sudden you get money sent to you in the mail, like a refund, or a friend? No, I've had this so many times. I'm so blessed, where a friend sends you a check for money because they know you're struggling, you're not asking for it. I mean, those are all miracles, absolute miracles. And it's just amazing how that works, and going back to Joan Aubley, a good friend of ours that we became friends. with her. Debbie and I became friends with her after we interviewed her and read her book, The Dance. It's just amazing. Here, this woman got sick. She just gave birth for her third child. It was just a couple months old. And here she got so sick, ended up in the hospital, and her husband was told to go home and plan her funeral. I'm not going to go into the story because it's absolutely amazing. You can get it on Amazon and everything. It's awesome. She's coming up with another book, which will be advertising once she gets it, once it's published. So, but just amazing stories everywhere, you know. I mean, it's crazy. And even going to the grocery store and somebody lets you cut in front of them. That's a miracle.
You find a front row parking space. I am always like, thank you so much, because you're in a hurry and you want to get in and out. And to be honest with you guys, these days, I think it's good to have a very close space to wherever you're going, because this way you're not walking a far distance by yourself. If you're by yourself, you know, it's some of these silly things. How about, have you ever had somebody do where you've been, and I've done it twice recently, not too recent, so I need to do it again, where you pay for the person's coffee behind you in the drive-through, like, but I always ask first, what do they order behind me, you know? And they'll say, oh, they have one coffee. I go, good, I'll pay for it. But not if I heard a story that somebody went to go pay for somebody's coffee and they had a big order. It was like $30, and they're like, oh, okay. I already said I'll pay for it, so I guess I will.
Yeah,
Pay it forward, because you'll be blessed. Okay, you don't do it because you want to be blessed. You do it because it's a blessing to someone else, and trust me, it will come back.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I just want to talk about one thing, and then we can wrap it up in our show on Friday. See, we switched around a little bit because we wanted.
That's right. We're confused.
Of our fall and our fall. But this one is one of my favorites, and probably a lot of you don't even know about it. But you don't have to be Catholic or anything to look into this, because it's absolutely amazing. It's called Incorruptibles. And what that is that a certain saint or somebody special in the church or whatever, they die, and then they dig up the body, and the body is completely like it was when it
wow,
they died. And there's a lot of saints. If you look up Incorruptibles in you know, Google, you will find it. Like I think what is it? Saint Teresa is one of my favorite. There's a lot of them out there. And you know, Gary and I, my boyfriend and I, were one day going through them all. And there's one saint, her name is Saint Teresa, and her hands are like this. Oh. They're folded, and she's got a rosary in it. And I tell my boyfriend, that's how I want to be when I die, is with my hands like that. But you should see it. They look like they're waxed.
Oh man, that's amazing.
You don't have the time. Like I said, you don't have to be Catholic. It's just fascinating to learn about stuff and why this happens. And that's a big miracle in the Catholic Church. So amazing. But with that, Debbie, you want to talk about our amazing day we're going to have on Friday?
I absolutely will. And I got to say this, okay? So this is our fall season, everybody. So we're going to start having seasons, and we're falling into miracles today. We're talking about all that stuff. And so, you know, we have a really dear person that's really close. I feel very close to her, because not only is she my sister-in-law's sister, okay, but Lori and I went to high school with this family, with two sisters and a son, and the two sisters and Lori and I had many of let's just call it functions, parties, okay, parties of all sorts, right? And we had a lot of time spent together, okay, and even as young adults and all that. And so, but I can say her name because she knows we're talking about her, but this gal's name is Julie, and Julie is a miracle. Like, she had a after death life experience, okay, and she has a book that she wrote. She has a website that she has all her information on, and she was in a very, very, very horrible car accident many years ago. And I'm not going to tell you much more than that, because she is going to tell her story, and she's also going to bring us up to speed of what she's doing to give back to the community, what she's doing to give back to others. She is a true miracle. There is no
Right,
doubt about
right,
it.
right.
And she's just a sweet, beautiful person. And, you know, Lori, I want to turn it to you because I can think of some memories that I have of us back with some of our Halloween parties. I remember I can see pictures in my mind of things that, you know, people dressed up of. And I remember Julie being there, you know, with her husband at the time. And I remember they had some kind of Roman kind of dressed up kind of like, I don't know if you like, I don't know how to explain it.
Yoga.
Yeah. And I remember that specific time. But do you have any memories or thoughts that you could share because of back in the day when we all hung out?
Oh boy, well, we used to have a lot of parties, so
Yeah, we did.
your miracle we're alive actually because we did a lot of drinking and a lot of stuff. So yeah, Debbie and I always say that we must have had a guardian angel over our shoulders. And I'm sure some of the people that are in our age understand what I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah, no, she's just an amazing person. I had a florist and she was a customer of mine too. So I knew a lot about the family and stuff. So yeah, you have to, you know, if you're not gonna be able to watch it live, make sure you go back and watch it. It's an amazing story. I'm sure you heard so much about different people that had afterlife experiences, but we have somebody that we know personally, and it's just amazing. And she goes around the country and talks to all kinds of people. She'll talk about that on Friday. But with that, we're going to say we are so excited about our fall season. We are so happy to be a part of your lives, and we're happy you're a part of our lives. We want to keep growing. We want to get to that
Yep.
1,000. Please ask your friends to join. Like I said, there's no obligation or anything. And, you know, all it is positive stuff. So with that, Debbie, you want to close us out?
Absolutely. I want to add to that Lori and I are working, and Lori's got some stuff in place for this afternoon, you know, and we will in the next few days be having our YouTube up. Okay. So what we're going to ask everybody, and think about this now, we've got a presence of people on this in this platform here, but we want to get you also on our YouTube so that way you can have access to all of our videos faster and have all our information. And then you can also share that and we can have more subscribers. So our whole thing is us two crazy chicks wanting to help others. Started during the pandemic. What can we do to give back? What can we do to have fun? What we do to make an impact? And we need all of you to help us. And this would be your little miracle to help us because it's going to impact other people. So with that, I hope that everybody I can't say have a good weekend, have a good rest of your week. Definitely tune into us on Friday. We're very excited about it. We will have Lori's working on, you know, Lori is our like little social director here with her, the way that she does all of our like, you know, when someone is going to speak or we're going to do something, Lori puts it up on the page, and she's learned like a lot of how to do it, and it always looks really cool. So look for the advertisement, I should say, or promotion of Julie, and make sure that you tune into us. And with that, have a wonderful couple days, and we'll see you in a couple days now.
Couple days.
Take care, guys.
Bye, everyone. Happy fall.
Bye. Take care.